Hey, I hope you're doing well. Just a quick story today from my coaching in California, which I just got back from a couple days ago. It's just an incredibly common story that I've heard. And kind of at risk of sounding like I'm patting myself on the back here, but it is what it is. Like student after student that I see, it's a similar story where they're working hard. This particular student was very focused, very driven, uh, putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort. Started 4 years ago, and just very type A, like super passionate. Wants to know all the answers. Wants to make sure that they're doing it right, etc., etc. And stroke after stroke, in the 2 days that Matt and I worked with this student, we would explain what they should be doing on forehand or serve or a volley, and then show, okay, here's what you're doing right now. And the type of comment that we got from this person over and over was, oh, well, why didn't anybody tell me that? Is basically the gist of their communication. I've been taking all these lessons. I've been working super hard. I'm seeking out the answers. Like I've wanted the answers all this time. So why am I just learning this after 4 years of hard work? And so if that sounds maybe familiar to you, or if you have the feeling, if you are taking lessons, if you're working hard, and you just kind of have a suspicion that what you're receiving just isn't moving the needle, you should be improving, and you should have a clear image. You should have a clear picture of where you are now, where you're trying to get to, and what are the steps. You should, like, that makes sense, right? That sounds very logical and maybe very very obvious. If you are paying somebody for their advice and for their input, an expert on something like tennis, you should know those three things exactly. Like, specifically, what are you doing now? Where should you be, or what are you trying to achieve? How are you trying to do it? And what are the steps in between those two things? If you've been taking lessons and you're super driven and you love the game, and you have a huge passion for getting better, and you're paying somebody for their time, and you don't have a clear picture in your head of what those three things are, then you need to go someplace else. You need to find someplace else. If it feels like you're just going through the motions, or it feels like it's just the same thing week after week, lesson after lesson, or clinic after clinic, or whatever it is, it just feels like the same phrases, the same words just getting repeated over and over again. It just kind of feels like you're in Groundhog Day. You've seen that movie with it's an older one with Bill Murray, where he gets up and every day is the same, over and over. He hits the alarm clock and he has to relive the same day over and over. If your lessons feel like that, then it's time for a change. And it's possible you could approach the person you're already paying for their time and their input and be like, hey, listen, I'm just not getting out of this what I was hoping I would get out of this, and just kind of have a conversation about it. I tend to be a little bit cynical, to be totally honest with you. I don't. If you've been with this person for a while, you're probably not going to get what you're looking for, And that's kind of the bottom line that Matt and I kind of arrived at with this student we had last week. Was the coach has got to meet the student halfway. Like, if the student's passion or motivation or drive is a 9 out of 10, then the coach's passion and excitement and engagement around the lesson and the information needs to also be a 9 out of 10. If the student's at a 9 out of 10 and the coach is at a 4 and just kind of like phoning it in, and not that they're not trying, but it's just like the same thing, and the student's looking for, like, I need the next step, I need the next step, I need the next step, and the coach is just kind of repeating the same stuff. Like, you're not getting your money's worth. That's not what you're paying for, if that's your mindset. Now, the students' mindset is to their passion for learning is a 4 out of 10, and the coach's passion for coming up with something new every week is also 4 out of 10. Then that's a perfect match. It's fantastic. We have perfect alignment between what the student wants and what the coach likes to provide. And so those of you who are watching this that are at 9 out of 10, you got to understand that you're in the minority. You are the strange, tennis player. And so you have to oftentimes find kind of a strange coach. Somebody who's also a 9 out of 10 on the teaching. I know you would kind of assume that somebody who signed up to be a tennis coach as their career would also be a 9 out of 10 on the teaching, specifically with like passion for teaching and giving progressions and steps, and let's break this down and let's come at it from a different angle. But it's not that's not normal for a coach either. So hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to give a little bit of perspective. That was the number one thing. I learned a lot of things, as always, on this trip. Worked with a lot of different students. For me personally, that was probably the thing that stood out the most. So I just wanted to pass that on. Hopefully it makes sense. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.